Good evening, everyone. It is now 5:03 p.m., and I'd like to call to order the special meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Monte Union High School District. At this time, if we could have a roll call by Dr. Zuniga.
Thank you, President Briones. We will start off with Board Member Ricardo Padilla.
Here.
Board Member David Diaz. Board Member Carlos Salcedo.
Present.
And President Board Member Venancio Briones.
Present.
All present.
Thank you, Dr. Zuniga. At this time, I'd like to hand over the meeting to our Board Secretary, Dr. Zuniga, to take over the meeting and continue with our business.
Thank you, Mr. Briones. As Secretary of the Board of Trustees, I will now take over this meeting and will facilitate the process for swearing in our elected officers, as well as the reorganization of the Board of Trustees of the Monte Union High School District. Before we begin the process, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize our outgoing president, Mr. Florencio Briones. And at this point, we will also recognize Mr. Briones from within the community. We have some distinguished guests that I'd like to formally introduce. And I will start off with the Honorable from the 22nd District, Senator Susan Rubio. Good evening and welcome. We also have from the City of Rosemead, Mayor Sandra Armenta. And also joining us from the City of Rosemead, Councilwoman Margaret Clark. It's a pleasure and privilege to have all of you here this evening with us in celebration of just another moment in our district, in our leadership team that we have here. Over the last year, President Briones has taken on the realm of being president, and the responsibilities as board president, as you know, can be challenging at times because there's a strong commitment to ensure that the district continues to move forward, to formalize the agenda alongside the superintendent, and also to ensure that meetings run smoothly, communication is open and effectively. So I know that Mr. Briones, you over the past year, under our current conditions and under this pandemic, you have been challenged, to say the least, something that we've never experienced before. And I do want to thank you for your commitment to serving as a board president over the past year. It's been a pleasure to serve alongside with you. Your time and dedication is greatly appreciated and notable. You put a lot of time, spending time with you almost every day, communicating to ensure that we at least provide every opportunity for our students to have the best provided academic success and instruction, whether it's instruction, co-curricular, anything that you committed yourself to, really focused on students, and it was always centered around them. So I greatly appreciate you for your guidance as well, your continued support, and I look forward to continue to work with you as well. So congratulations again for serving as our board president. It's been an honor. And at this point, I'd like the opportunity to introduce, we'll have some certificates first. On behalf of the 22nd District, Senator Susan Rubio, would you like to provide Mr. Briones with the certificate? I know that we already provided him the certificate, he already has it. And I'm not sure if you have it with you. I can also read it if you'd like.
No, I do.
Great.
Well, I personally want to thank Trustee Briones for his leadership. I know that his heart is in service. I know he does a lot of things outside the realm of your board and education, as well as in the community. So thank you so much for that. I know sometimes the work that the board doesn't get recognized as often, in my opinion, as it should. And I know that you have been a strong leader. This year has challenged all of us in terms of the pandemic, as superintendent stated, and teachers as well as faculty and leadership has had to really be flexible and really understanding how to navigate the system. So yes, absolutely. I have a certificate that I did send to you, and I'm only sorry that I cannot be there in person to honor you as you deserve. but it reads, on behalf of the California State Senate, it is my privilege to present you with the certificate in recognition of your outstanding leadership to the board as board president. Your tireless efforts in fostering excellence will help ensure the success of our next generation of leaders. Your service has made a difference in the quality of life in our community. And as I stated, I know your work goes beyond the board. So thank you so very much. And thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, Senator Rubio. The El Monte Union High School District is also pleased to present President Briones with the certificate of recognition for his leadership as board president during the past year. We also want to recognize the certificate at this time for certificate of recognition for your year's service as Board of Trustees president for the 1920 and for your commitment to the students, staff, and the community. Congratulations from the El Monte High School District Board of Trustees, and this is signed by the Board of Trustees as well. As a token of our appreciation, it is also my honor to present Mr. Briones with a gavel, with his name on the actual gavel itself that was presented to him earlier today at his home. And there is also a little plaque with El Monte Union High School District Board of Trustees President 2019-2020. Congratulations again, Mr. Briones. Thank you again for your service as president of the El Monte Union High School District Board of Trustees. And at this point, if I'd like to open it up to any of our board if they wish to make any comments, or anyone else who's joined us this evening as well.
Dr. Zuniga, am I have the privilege? My
Absolutely.
apologies, President Briones. Your certificate is in the mail, but I do want to take this time to really thank you under these unprecedented times to lead with the distant learning, to lead with making sure that our students are still being fed, in leading and making sure that the training for your staff is available. I just want to thank you on behalf of the city of Rosemead for all your efforts in your position as president of the El Monte Union High School District Board. Many of you know that I'm a graduate from Rosemead High School, so I'm very proud to be an alumni and a product of your school district. But again, thank you so much. And I don't know if Councilmember Clark has any words.
Yes, Sandra said it all, but I echo it. I really appreciate all that you've done this year and the flexibility that you've shown in all this crazy times we've been through. And we just thank you for all your efforts for the students of the district. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Armenta and Councilwoman Clark. At this time, is there anyone else from the board wish to comment on behalf of Mr. Briones' outgoing presidency?
Absolutely. Dr. Zuniga, this is Mr. Padilla. And yes, I would like to thank our president, Mr. Florencio Briones. I think that this has been one of the most difficult times in the history, not just of our school board, but in the history of this nation, in terms of leading any organization, whether it's a school district, whether it's a city, whether it's our leaders at the state level, it's at the assembly, at the Senate. And I know that the senator can attest to this. It's just unprecedented times and things are always changing. And so thank you, Mr. Briones, for the job that you've done. I think you've done a phenomenal job of conducting meetings. I think you're very suave in how you do this. Whoever follows you is going to have a difficult task to follow you, because you do it very seamlessly. You do it very naturally. You speak very nicely. And so kudos to you for your leadership, for all the meetings that you had with Dr. Zuniga, that you do give a lot of time. You dedicate a lot of time to the school board. And I know that though we don't always agree, I know that our philosophy of education is very much in line when it comes to supporting our students throughout the district. So thank you for your leadership during this coronavirus year that we will never forget and that we will always talk about in the future. Thank you for leading together with us as our president. during this very difficult time. I appreciate and I am grateful to your leadership. Thank you, Mr. Florencio Briones.
Thank you, Mr. Padilla. Anyone else wish to comment at this time? Okay, thank you again. Congratulations.
Real quick, Mr. Zuniga, Dr. Zuniga,
Yes, sir.
just wanted to publicly thank Mr. Briones, especially during this time. I mean, any year to be a board president is difficult enough to meet and to plan, but this year, with all the changes and the need to be flexible, I was very, very impressed with his leadership and his leadership skills. And just want to thank him publicly for leading us through this. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Member Plato.
And I'll just echo the sentiments that everyone's already shared. I think that Mr. Padilla kind of addressed it. With your background, Mr. Briones, I think you were like the perfect board president to facilitate board meetings during this time, given your background and understanding. And so definitely very suave, as Mr. Padilla said. And so thank you for your leadership. Thank you for conducting these meetings. Thank you for making it seem seamless. And I look forward to continuing to work with you.
Hey, Mr. Diaz. In response, Mr. Briones, would you wish to make any comments at this time?
Yes, Dr. Zuniga, thank you. I want to start off by saying thank you to our dignitaries who are here tonight, Senator Rubio, Mayor Armenta, and Councilwoman Clerk. Thank you for taking the time to join us today and be here to recognize not only the end of my presidency today, but also to recognize our incoming re-elected board members and our newly elected trustee, Mrs. Torres de Segrist. I know your schedules are always very impacted and very busy, so being here with us means a great deal to me. To my colleagues, I want to say thank you for your kind words. I appreciate the amount of trust that you placed in me when we reorganized last year in December of 2019. When I became president then, I never imagined that we would be living through the world that we're living in now. As was said earlier, being board president is difficult enough sometimes. It takes a lot of time, a lot of commitment. And living through a worldwide pandemic, absolutely something that I will never, ever forget. It's been an interesting time to say the least, a very challenging time, to be quite honest with you. When I ran for this office, I knew that there would be some ups. I knew that there would be some downs during my tenure on the board. But never once did I imagine that as part of those downtimes, there would be a massive recession brought on by a worldwide medical health emergency or crises through this pandemic. But we're here today, we're resilient, we're surviving, we're thriving, and we'll continue to move forward. And I think I've said this many times before, I look forward to the day that we will all be together again, and we absolutely will be together again to celebrate all of our accomplishments and all of our success stories. I do want to say thank you to the district, to Dr. Zuniga, to staff, and to my colleagues for the certificate of recognition, and also to Senator Rubio for your certificate of recognition as well. If you can see behind me, those of you who have been following our board meetings in the last few weeks, you'll know that I've been remodeling my office. And so I've had my certificates and other recognitions that I received over the years ready to go. They just need to be mounted. So I'll be sure to get these framed and mounted as well to join the rest of the recognitions that I have. And of course, to the district, to staff, thank you so much for the gavel. It means a great deal to me to have this recognition. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And of course, to the community who's watching all of us here remotely online, I want to say thank you again for placing your trust in me when you elected me 3 years ago in 2017. I hope that I have served you well. I hope to continue to serve you well. And I hope that, again, in the future, we will all be together again to celebrate. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you for being here with us tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Briones. At this time, we'll move on to the next agenda item. This is the swearing in of our newly elected and re-elected Board of Trustees members. We will first start off with our newly board member, Estela Torres de Segrist, and I don't say newly. I would probably just say it now, but I also want to say welcome back to our elected Mrs. Estela Torres. It's great to see you back on the board, and we're very happy to have you here along with your family virtually. And at this point, Mrs. Estela Torres will be sworn in as the newly elected Board of Trustees member by Senator Susan Rubio from the California 22nd District. Today, or earlier this week, we provided both with the information about the process for the swearing in, and I'm sure you guys are pro now. So I will go ahead and now allow Senator Rubio to begin the process for the swearing in.
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, before I move forward, I want to just share a little bit about Estela. I think a lot of people don't know that her and I go way back from my times in the Women's Club in Baldwin Park and her time in the Women's Club in El Monte. And we were together in so many events, you know, going back 15 years ago. And I know her heart is really in education, not only as a professor, but what she does outside, you know, to really care for our community, to really care for our students. And so I want to thank you, Estela, for honoring me today and allowing me to swear you in. It's my honor to be here. It's my honor to be the one to swear you in. David, your husband as well, you've been great friends of mine. And so I really want to just thank you for that friendship and the leadership that you provide. And so with that, I want to ask Estela DeSigris to raise her right hand, please.
Right hand.
Raise your right hand.
And you're going to repeat after me. Say, I state your name.
I, Ermila Estela Torres DeSigris,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear
True faith
through faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United
and the
States
Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and that I take this obligation freely
And I take this obligation freely
to serve on the El Monte Union High School District Board of Trustees
to serve in El Monte Union High School District Board of Trustees
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion.
and that I will well and faithfully
And I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I am going to enter. So
You're now a duly installed school board member. So congratulations, and really appreciate
thank
you
you
allowing me to
very
do
much.
this for you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And may I say some words that I
Absolutely.
prepared for? First of all,
Yes, absolutely.
thank you, Senator Rubio, for installing me as a board member of the El Monte Union High School District Board of Trustees. This is truly a great honor for me. You are such an outstanding example for all of us. Susan, thank you very much for being such a good friend for so many years. Thank you, everyone, for your votes and faith in me. I am so very grateful to many wonderful friends and family who worked so hard in my campaign. You are the best. I have 3 diamonds, 3 diamantes, that I make my life so fulfilled and enjoyable. My first diamond is God, who is always with me, guiding me in my life and in my journey. Yet sometimes when I am not with him, I always know that he's always there for me. My second diamond is my wonderful husband, David, who is always here helping me all the time, even when sometimes some problems. My 3 children, my daughter-in-law, and my 4 grandchildren are product of El Monte Union High School District. Unfortunately, my 5th grandchildren, Christian, couldn't be because the program Mommy and Me was closed and he couldn't participate anymore. Our high school helped them to get their roots, and now with their wings, they are soaring. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. They are flying very well. My 3 children, my daughter-in-law, and my 5 grandchildren. Thus, I am in debt to our district, and I wish give back something. And the way that I can do it is with my 3rd time, my education. Many years of learning. I've been a professor for a long time. Many years of learning, and not always with success, but will to succeed and to never give up. You can see that I didn't give up. I come back to the Board of Trustees. El Monte Union High School District is very important and it's living in my heart. I have been an educator for a very long time. At first, I wanted to be a scientist, like my oldest brother. My oldest brother is a PhD in nuclear physics from Case Western Reserve. I wanted to be a chemist. My mom said, no way, you should be an educator. I know you very well, Estelita. You should be an educator. She was so right. She really knows me very well. I became an educator, a Spanish professor, and I want to share my passion for learning, my training, and my years of experience with El Monte Union High School District. At all times, I will work closely with my fellow board members to provide the best for our students, our school administrators, our teachers, and our classified employees. And you will live never behind. I will never forget the words of Jaime Escalante said, the secret to your learning is you. Give you all and you will succeed. And you must never, never give up. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Año Nuevo. Thank you.
Congratulations again to Mrs. Estela Torres de Segres. At this time, we do have some certificates, and Senator Rubio, you actually have also a certificate for Mrs. Estela Torres de Segres. We do have a copy of it. I'm not sure if you'd like to come over.
Yes, I have the copy. So thank
Perfect.
you very much, Senator. Senator Rubio. It's so beautiful. I got it this afternoon, and I have it here. I put it on the table. David, yes. I got these certificates from our Senator. Here it is, the Senator Rubio. Oh, can you see that? Let me see. Okay, yeah, I have to be closer. I don't know, it's so pretty. Thank you. Oh, can you see that? Ay. Well, it's here. It's like the one that Flo got. This is one, and I got another one. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rosemary. Thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you so much, Mrs. Armenta. And of course, it's signed by my wonderful friend, Margie Clark. Thank you so much. I am going to have it in my studio. And I also got another one from Assemblyman Ed Chow. Thank you very much. And I got several letters from Hilda, from our Hilda Solis, and other certificates and other letters. Let me see. I'm very sorry that I put it here close to me. One is from Mayor Robert Garcia, City of Long Beach. And also I got it from, of course, Rio Hondo College, my wonderful friend, the president of Rio Hondo College, that is Teresa Dreyfus, that has been a friend for a long time. She's a very wonderful friend. and also, of course, for the supervisor, Hilda Solis.
And
I'm going to send it. And the last one is for the assessor Jeffrey Prank, county of Los Angeles. Thank you very much. You really make me feel strong. And the only thing that I can tell you, and I'm praying to God to help me to do my best and to work together and give the best to our Monte Union High School District, which is being a treasure for me. My family is very happy and doing very well. Since my three children, my daughter was here. She's the English professor at Glendale College, and those teachers from Arroyo High School helped her a lot. My son is, and my oldest son is a lawyer who cannot be here because he has a client. And my youngest daughter, who was the valedictorian at El Monte Union High School District in 1999. And oh my goodness, her life was, since 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, her life was in El Monte Union High School, in Arroyo. She was doing there so many things, and she became a lawyer, and she's doing a lot of good things right now. And as I told you, my little grandchildren, they went to the program, Mommy and Me. I'm so sad that we lost those programs because they were great, those programs. My youngest one, my little Christian, didn't go to that program, and I felt really sorry. But the other 4 did very well, and they are flying, soaring, beautiful in life. They are doing a very good job. El Monte Union High School District is wonderful for me, and I hope that I can give all myself and my happiness. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sergeant Segrist. Any folks want to comment? I know Senator Rubio, you did have the certificate. Also, Mayor Armenta, Councilwoman. The floor is open for you guys if you wish to provide some comments.
Well, real quickly, if I may read the certificate that I did send over. It reads, on behalf of the California State Senate, it is my honor to recognize you on your election to the El Monte Union High School Board. I applaud your commitment to serving our residents with exceptional leadership and respect, and we look forward to the success that you will bring to our region and our shared constituents. As you know, Estela, I'm also an educator at heart and a teacher for 17 years now, and so I'm glad that I find this kinship not only with you but all of you on the board, and I hope that you will seek me out and ask me for resources, whatever you need, because ultimately I want to be there to support you, and I think it's important that we all hold hands in these times of need, and whatever I can do for you and the entire board, please don't hesitate to call me, and my office is always here to help. Thank you, Estela.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Senator Rubio. But I feel more comfortable calling you my wonderful friend. And my friend in the women's club, because we have to work really hard there. Thank you so much, Susan. You don't know how much I appreciate all the things that you are doing for us. And I know, yes, we are going to ask you to help us a lot in our El Monte Union High School District. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Senator Rubio. Anyone else from the city of Roseville?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Zuniga. Mrs. Stella Torres de Segrist, many years ago, I first met you, and I remember it was during open house at Rosemead High School, and we were at the art class. I actually had taken art in that same classroom, and I was showing you where I sat and all the great activities that we did in that classroom, and your passion for art. And I remember having a conversation where you wanted to name the auditorium.
Yes, you remember.
I remember that you wanted to name the auditorium after Vicky Carr because Vicky Carr actually paid half for that auditorium. And so I saw the passion that you had not only for students, but also to making sure that the arts stayed in the curriculum. And so we all know I'm also an educator and well, former educator, but always an educator at heart, knowing how the different modalities are extremely important for the students and making sure that we capture their learning style. And thank you so much. We do have a certificate, as we noted, and but you know, again, thank you so much. And the award reads, in recognition of your installation as board member of the El Monte Union High School District, we wish you success in your efforts to enhance and strengthen the academic programs in the El Monte Union High School District. Your commitment to the community is to be commended and is presented the 16th day of December 2020 and is signed by myself and the rest of the board. And thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Councilmember Clark.
Well, congratulations. It's so good to have you back. And we've been friends for so long with David and you, and you've been just wonderful. I'm also an educator, and you mentioned Jaime Escalante, and I had the pleasure of meeting him. He was such a powerful person. And so we look forward to working with you and having you back. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mike. Yes, I remember. I got to meet Jaime Escalante when he came to South Del Monte. At that time, I was in the Board of Trustees in Del Monte, and he was the one who told me, then you have to push those students never to give up, never to give up. They have to keep studying, and you have to set to show the good example. And I said, of course, I will do it. And I remember about my great idea that I had, as much as I asked for, to change the name of the Rosemead High School auditorium to Vicky Carl. Vicky Carl was so happy. I got to talk to her. I got to do got all the permissions, but unfortunately, we couldn't do it. But let's see, Dr. Zuniga, if we can do it again to try to put the name to the Rosemead Auditorium, Vicky Carr. She really earned it because she loved, when I talked to her by phone about the idea that we had in the Board of Trustees at that time, she was so happy, very, very happy to know that her high school was going to recognize her. And I told her, we'll do it one of these days. And I hope that we can do it this time. Thank you very much for remembering that good time. And of course, the art. I love the art. For me, the art is part of your life, part of living and be very happy. Thank you so much.
No, and thank you. And let's not forget that she actually paid for half of that auditorium. So the reason why we have such a state-of-the-art auditorium is because of Vicky Carr.
Yes, I knew that. Thank you.
Thank you. I just also, as Mrs. Torres, the speakers did mention earlier, the certificate of recognition also was received by Assembly Member Ed Chow. It's a certificate of recognition presented to Stella Torres de Segrest in honor of recognition of your installation as a member of the El Monte Union High School District Board of Education. Your dedication and service to your community is to be commended. Congratulations and best wishes. Dated December 16, 2020. Member of the Assembly 49th Assembly District at Chow. Congratulations again, Mrs. George, on your recognition and for returning back to the El Monte Union High School District. We're very excited to have you, and we look forward to working alongside with you. Thank you.
Never give up. Never give up.
Absolutely.
It helps you. Thank you.
Before I move on, I'd like to open the floor to any of our Board of Trustees who wish to make any comments on behalf of Mrs. Torres Segrest.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and make some comments. First of all, Ms. Estela Torres de Segrest, the Honorable Estela Torres de Segrest, I welcome you back into the El Monte Union High School District with open arms. I have been waiting for you. And hold on, let me move around here. My lights just went off. 1 second. There, let there be light. And again, I welcome you with open arms. The people of El Monte Union High School District have spoken, but not only in our school district, but also in our city. And they have sent out a very loud message that they wanted you to come back. And I love it when you come back because you bring a different feel to our board. You bring that happiness. You bring that the affective domain. Okay, I worked in child welfare for many years, and what we need is a lot of that affective domain, the whole brain and heart connection. And you bring that. And yes, you talk a lot, just like I do. And I love it because it's not just strictly business, but we are human beings. We are dealing with children. We are dealing with parents. We are dealing with employees. And we're not just robots that do business. We are people with emotions. And I like that feeling. Just having you here today brings me so much joy, Mrs. Stella Torres de Seigres. And let me tell you why. Not only do you bring the knowledge, you have all the credentials, you have all the degrees, and I love how you bring the wisdom because, yes, I too have the knowledge. I have the degrees, I have the credentials, I have the certifications, but you come with all the life experience and all of the wisdom. And life experience will always trump any degree and any education that we have. And I thank you for that. I remember one time you and I got into a heated discussion and I try to pull rank and I try to say, well, you know what? I've been an educator for 24 years or 23 years. And I remember that you shut me up. You didn't tell me to shut up, but Mr. Padilla, with all due respect, you've been in education for 20 plus years. Well, I have been in education for 40 plus years, Mr. Padilla. And I'll tell you, I remember that day you put me in my place. And I'll tell you something, Mrs. Stella Torres de Seigres. When you speak, I listen. When you speak, I listen because you have all the credentials. You have all the certifications. You have all the degrees, but you have a whole lot more time here on planet Earth with your experience and your wisdom. And I will continue to do that. So thank you for coming back. Thank you to all the voters that supported you. And I will never forget that when you left the district, Mrs. Stella Torres de Seigres, you said it like this, and I'm an English language learner too. So you said, listen to me. I will be back. I will be back. And back you are, Mrs. Stella Torres de Seigres. And again, thank you for your words of wisdom. I will remember the three diamonds. And I believe that we all should pay attention to those three diamonds. God, spouse, and family. I don't have a spouse, but I have a family. And your education. Thank you. Thank you so much for all your years of education. And even while you were not on this school board, you still did things for El Monte Union High School.
Yes.
All the work that you did with taking all the boys and the girls to Boys State and Girls State, and your husband being on the school board with the elementary school district, where you guys could be doing so many other things. You continue to give back to our community, to our children, and your dedication is very much appreciated. Thank you, my dear friend, from the bottom of my heart for all the work you've done over the time that you've been here in the city of El Monte. And again, I welcome you back with open arms. It's a pleasure to have you back. It's a great day for me. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm beaming with happiness. And to have the senator here and the mayor and Maggie Clark and the rest of my colleagues, it's a great day in El Monte. Kisses and hugs to you. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to your family too.
Thank you
Welcome.
very much. Thank you, Mr. Padilla. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your words. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Padilla. Anyone else wish to comment at this time?
Dr. Zuniga, if I may.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say congratulations to Mrs. Estela Torres de Seigres. I look forward to working with you, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Board of Trustees.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Briones. Okay.
Likewise, just congratulations again and welcome back. And I look forward to working with you, Mrs. de Seigres.
Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. It's been a pleasure for me.
Dr. Zuniga, this is Bruno Diaz. Congratulations, Ms. Torres de Seigres. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you. We will do a very good job because you are a good team. And with the help that we are going to have from our senator, this year we are going to try to do the best for our school district. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Senator Rubio. It's very elegant. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias por venir, Susana. You are really great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to move on to our second swearing in. This is a swearing in of Mr. Carlos Salcedo, re-election. Earlier today, I had the pleasure of swearing in Mr. Carlos Salcedo. Mr. Salcedo formally took his oath of office at 11:30 a.m. this morning. Mr. Salcedo would like to now provide his two children with the ceremonial opportunity to swear him in this evening. And Mr. Salcedo and his family have gathered at the district office boardroom to conduct the swearing in ceremony. So, Mr. Salcedo, I will allow you to go ahead and introduce your family and your two children who actually are of the Almighty High School District at Arroyo High School.
Thank you, Dr. Zuniga. I have my wife with me, my wife Martha. I have my two children with me, Maya and Joaquin, that are students at Arroyo High School.
Thank you. And we could have them maybe come in a little bit more, or if we can make sure that they get captured on the camera there. There you go. Okay. All right. Whenever you're ready, students, or shall I call you kids?
Students.
Again, students of the Almighty Union High School District.
Dr. Zuniga, we can't see Maya. Oh. no.
All right. Maya, are you? All right. All right. Here we go.
Oh,
Okay. There we go.
raise your right hand.
And repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Carlos Salcedo,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
to serve on the El Monte Union High School District Board of Trustees
to serve on the El Monte Union High School District Board of Trustees
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
You are now duly installed for the present term.
Thank you. You guys want to hang out? No. Okay.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Great job, students.
I'm going to take my seat back and then.
Okay, as Mr. Salcedo takes his seat back, I also want to formally announce that he has been presented with some certificates, starting with Senator Rubio. Senator Rubio, would you like to present the certificate formally? Please unmute yourself. Thank you.
There we go. Yes, please, if I may. Well, first of all, I wanted to also congratulate Mr. Salcedo. I wanted to just share that, we also go back probably 10 years. And if I keep saying this, I'm going to sound like I'm 100 because I've known so many of you for so long, and I knew your brother, many years back. And so I'm honored to be here as well to see you get sworn in again. And I do have a certificate that you should have there with you. And it reads, on behalf of the California State Senate, it is my honor to congratulate you on your reelection to the El Monte Union High School Board. I applaud your relentless commitment to serving our residents with exceptional leadership and respect. We look forward to the continued success you will bring to our region and our shared constituents. Congratulations. And I want to say to your family and I say students because I'm always so inspired when I see students doing sometimes better than adults. The way she read, the words and the way she presented herself, congratulations on her and her success as well. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Senator Rubio. Also, we have from the city of Roseville, we have Mayor Armenta. Would you like to start?
Yes, Dr. Zuniga, thank you so much. Board Member Salcedo, I know that we first met back in 2009, and just the work that you've done being in education for over 25 years. Not only do you see the policy side of it, but you also understand the staff side and the teacher side and what students need firsthand. So thank you so much for being that voice for many students that don't have a voice. And we do have a certificate for you. And I have to echo Senator Rubio, your daughter and your son did just a wonderful job. You know, we won't say what high school they're from because we all know the relationship between Rosemead High School and Arroyo, but you know what, it's always good to have a friendly rivalry. And so our certificate reads, Ms. Carlos G. Salcedo, in recognition of your installation as a re-elected board member of the El Monte Union High School District, we wish you success in your efforts to enhance and strengthen the academic programs in the El Monte Union High School District. Your commitment to the community is to be commended. And again, thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and have Councilmember Clark say some words. You have to unmute yourself.
I got it. It kept going up and down. We'll get this technology one way or another. I just wanted to congratulate you on your reelection, and we go way back also, and we look forward to working with you. You did an excellent job on that oath of office. That is a tongue twister. I have messed it up many times, and but it's very important. And it was so nice to see your family here, and we just really congratulate you. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We also have a certificate of recognition from the 49th Assembly District, and I'll read this. This is a certificate of recognition presented to Carlos G. Salcedo in recognition of your installation as a returning member of the El Monte Union High School District Board of Education. Your dedication and service to your community is to be commended. Congratulations and best wishes, December 16, 2020. Again, Ed Chow, member of the Assembly, 49th Assembly District, California State Legislator. Congratulations, Mr. Salcedo. And at this time, I believe we are done with the presentation of the certificates. Mr. Salcedo, I will provide you the opportunity if you wish to make any comments on your reelection.
Thank you, Dr. Zuniga. And if I sound muffled, Eric, let me know. I'll remove my mask temporarily. Okay. First of all, just thank you, Senator Rubio and leaders from Rosemead, Maggie Clark, and Sandra Menta. You know, it's really good to see our leadership here supporting everyone on re-election and swearing in. Senator, I've known you more than 10 years. And you know, Maggie and Sandra, I know we've worked on projects in the past as well successfully. So I do look forward to that partnership and continuing our friendship and our working relationship. I do appreciate it. You know, I really couldn't pass up the opportunity this time to have my own children swear me in. It's something that I was looking forward to. When else can we have, you know, students who are our own kids do that honor for us? So it was very special for me to have Dr. Zuniga and staff make that happen for me. It is a blessing for me. You know, and as far as rivalries, Ms. Armenta, you know, we do have family at Rosemead High School, so I got to be careful too. So, you know, it's the one thing I have to say is the one promise I have for everyone is I am going to continue to do what I can for the best of our kids. Whatever we have before us on the dais to vote on, my guiding question is it good for our students? and that's the bottom line. As y'all mentioned, I've been in education for over 25 years. Time flies. And I do get to see both sides. You know, I get to be with the families through good and bad. And our families, our students, our staff are going through some rough times right now, right? And stability is key. Stability is key not only for the school boards, but also with our elected leaders, right? So to see Mrs. Clark here, Ms. Armenta here, it's good to see that stability and that support. So I really, really do appreciate it. I mean, I have nothing else to say, but thank you. I'm very grateful and humbled to, you know, receive so much support from our community. Tremendous support. It's humbling. But again, like I said, I promise to continue to do the best for our students with that one guiding question. And thank you all for being here and acknowledging me with your certificates and words. Truly is a blessing. Thank you, Dr. Zuniga.
Thank you, Mr. Salcedo. Before we go on to our next item, I'd like to also provide the Board of Trustees with an opportunity to make any comments on behalf of Mr. Salcedo.
Sure, I'll go ahead and go first. I'd like to thank Mr. Salcedo and congratulate him on his reelection. I know that, again, the people have spoken and the voters have spoken, and they wanted to see him back on the dais with us. And so congratulations to him. And, you know, you couldn't have said it any better, Mr. Salcedo. I love your guiding question when you say, is it good for our students? And what is the best thing for our students? And I like that you say that, especially since we have, you know, Councilwoman Clark here and Mayor Armenta and Senator Rubio, you know, a lot of educators, all of us who are educators. And I know that recently the El Monte Promise Foundation had their event where you raise money for college. And I think that's a great thing. Also, the fact that when you ran your campaign and your platform, you talked about making sure that we continue to have college and career readiness, and college in particular. So I know when you say the question, is it good for our students? I can tell you one thing that is good for our students, and I'll say it here in front of the mayor of Rosemead and in front of the Councilwoman Clark, is the Pasadena satellite campus that we have is something that is good for our students. And so the fact that you stated that you're going to ask that question, I'm going to hold you to that and make sure that we don't close that satellite campus down, Mr. Salcedo. And I publicly say this to all of our voters that are listening right now with that awesome guiding question that you gave, as well as in front of the mayor, in front of Councilwoman Ms. Clark, and in front of the Honorable Senator Susan Rubio. So congratulations getting back on the board, and awesome platform that you had to support college. And so we will definitely hold you to that. So congratulations and welcome back. And we will continue the work. And though we don't always agree on everything, Mr. Salcedo, I'll say this with you too, is that our philosophy of education is very much aligned. In that, I don't question you. So congratulations. And I did take note of how many people voted for you. It was phenomenal. So congratulations. And we will continue the work, and let's work together. Thank you, Mr. Salcedo.
Thank you, Mr. Padilla. Any other Board of Trustees members at this time wish to comment?
Dr. Zuniga, if I may.
Mr. Briones, please.
Thank you. To Mr. Salcedo, I want to say congratulations on your reelection. I've had the privilege of knowing you now for about 20 years. You and I joined the district around the same time. I was hired in 2001, and you were first elected in 2001. And I had the honor of considering you a mentor for many years, and now I have the privilege of calling you a colleague. So I want to offer my congratulations to you on your reelection. there hasn't been a time that your commitment to this district and to our students has ever been in question. And I wish you the best. And I look forward to many years working with you in whatever capacity that you continue in, that you wish to continue in, and just wish you the best in the coming your coming term. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Briones. Anyone else?
Dr. Zuniga? Oh,
Go ahead, Senator Rubio.
Rubio, please.
I'm going to have to log off. I have another meeting at 6, but I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you as well, Dr. Zuniga. Sometimes our organizations work because there's someone at the top with a steady hand and guidance and leadership. So, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize you for your work. And I know that you've joined me in, either conversations, roundtables, or discussions, throughout this year. And so I also want to offer that to you as well. Call me anytime. I know that I've offered it before, but just in general to all the board that was newly installed and those that are supporters of the district, parents, teachers. I'm here to be an ally, a supporter. As a teacher, as I said, education runs in my blood. So whatever I could do for your school district, I will do. So please count on me. And again, Dr. Zuniga, it is your leadership sometimes that we need, that steady hand to help us through these tough times. And to all the board, congratulations. And I will see you hopefully safely next year when we can do so. So thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to speak today. And have a good night and happy holidays. If I don't get to see all of you, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Take care.
Thank you, Senator Rubio. It's been a pleasure having you here this evening with us. Have a good evening and happy holidays to you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Diaz, please proceed.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Zuniga. Just want to say congratulations to my colleague, Mr. Salcedo. As Mr. Padilla already said, historic win, I think, we probably have to check this, but in all the history of El Monte High School District, you may have been the top vote getter, somewhere around 24,000 votes. So congratulations, and I look forward to continuing to work with you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Diaz. Okay. I believe with that, we will move on to our next item on the agenda. And at this point, I would like to provide the board with the opportunity for the nominations and the actual election of the Board of Trustees for President, Vice President, Clerk, and the elected representative. And again, at this time, I'd like to begin the process and invite nominations from board members.
Dr. Zuniga, if I can make one recommendation before we move forward.
Please do so.
If we can take nominations for each individual office as opposed to a slate.
Okay. So is that a motion, Mr. Briones?
Carter.
Yes, I move that we take each nomination individually.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Mr. Briones and a second, and I will call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, then the motion is carried. I believe it's 5-0. We would begin first with the nomination for President of the Board of Trustees.
Dr. Zuniga, I have a question and a comment.
Sure.
I'll comment, I guess, in a motion. Because of this unprecedented time, I'm normally not a fan of having somebody be president 2 years in a row. But for the, mentioning about stability, I really think that if Mr. Briones is okay with it, if Mr. Briones would accept a nomination to be president again. I just think that it's important right now to continue that, to be consistent with leadership at the top. And if it's okay with him and he accepts that, that will be my motion for Mr. Briones to continue as president.
Okay, I have a motion or a nomination for President for president. That would be Mr. Florencio Briones. That is nomination by Mr. Carlos Salcedo. Do I have a second?
Dr. Zuniga, first, I'll second the motion, but just want to make sure that Florencio will accept.
Okay. Before we move on with the second, Mr. Briones.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Salcedo, for your remarks and your confidence in me. And thank you, Mr. Diaz, for seconding the motion. Yes, I do accept.
We have a motion by Mr. Salcedo and a second by Mr. Diaz. We'll call for the vote for president. For
Dr.
the
Zuniga, if we could have a roll call vote.
yes, sir. We'll do a roll call vote for the president for the, I would say, 2021, if that's accurate, from December to next December 2021. Call for the vote. We'll begin with, we'll start off with Mr. Salcedo.
Yes.
Mr. Diaz,
Aye.
Mrs. Estela Torres de Seigres.
No.
We have one no, and we have Mr. Padilla
No.
and Mr. Briones.
Aye.
So the vote is 3 yeses and 2 noes. The noes from Mrs. Estela Torres de Seigres and Mr. Padilla. So the motion is carried 3-2, with President Briones serving a second term.
Mr. Zuniga,
Yes, ma'am.
well, this is the time that I come back, but don't we have to allow everybody to bring new ideas in our board like we used to do it? We used to do it that it was only 1 year, and the next year we had a new board, a new president to also have the experience of learning and bringing the ideas to the board. And I don't have absolutely anything against Mr. Briones. I know that he's capable of doing everything very well, but I really would like to see and to know why don't we have a new president now? Is that correct to do it? Is that, I don't remember, is part of our policies that can we have for 2 years consecutive the same president?
That is correct, ma'am. And letting in the bylaws permits that a second term cannot be done under the presidency or any other office. And I have legal counsel here. If legal counsel wishes to confirm that information, please.
Yeah, so confirming that information, Dr. Zuniga, it is acceptable. The nomination posed by Trustee Salcedo is acceptable and in accordance with the bylaw for a second-year term. Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Torres de Seigres, did we answer your question you had?
Yes, if it's in the bylaws and it's acceptable, I didn't remember that. I remember that when we were correcting the bylaws, when we had before, it was a good idea to have a new president every year in order to bring new ideas, in order to help.
Train everybody.
But especially to train everybody to have that experience of being the president. But I don't know. I have to get again into the into bylaws and to study all of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Estela Torres de Seigres, for your comment. We will now move on to Vice President nomination at this time. The floor is open.
Okay, I nominate Mr. Padilla.
Okay, we have a nomination for Mr. Ricardo Padilla for Vice President. The nomination is made by Mrs. Estela Torres de Seigres. Is there a second? Before I do that, actually, I will allow Mr. Padilla. Would you wish to accept the nomination at this time before we second?
Yes, Dr. Zuniga, I would accept the nomination. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second? Okay, do we have a second for the nomination of Vice President? The motion dies out of not having a second, so the floor is still open for nomination.
Dr. Zuniga?
Go ahead, Mr. Diaz.
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Mr. Carlos Salcedo for vice president.
Okay, we have a nomination for vice president for Mr. Carlos Salcedo. Do you accept the nomination, Mr. Salcedo? Thumbs up means yes. Do I have a second?
I will second the nomination.
We have a second by Mr. Briones for the vice president for Mr. Carlos Salcedo. We will call for the vote. All those in favor?
Dr. Zuniga, if we could have a roll call vote.
Thank you for the reminder, Mr. Briones. We will begin with Mr. Briones.
Aye.
We will now move forward with Mr. Diaz,
Aye.
Mr. Padilla,
No.
and Mrs. Del Torres Tigres.
No.
Okay, and Mr. Salcedo.
Aye.
Okay, the vote is 3 yeses and 2 nays. Nays coming from Mr. Padilla and Mrs. Estela Torres Tigres. The motion is carried 3-2 for vice president or Mr. Carlos Salcedo. At this time, I'd like to now move forward with the nominations for clerk of the Board of Trustees. The floor is open. Do we have a nomination for clerk of the trustees?
Yes, Dr. Zuniga, I'd like to nominate Mr. David Diaz for clerk.
Nomination by Mr. Briones for David Diaz for clerk. Do you accept Mr. Diaz for the nomination?
Yes.
Okay, nomination is accepted. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Salcedo, second. So we have a vote now. We'll go ahead and proceed with that. Call for the vote. We'll start off with Mr. Briones,
Aye.
¿Qué hago, no?
Mr. Salcedo,
Aye.
Mr. Padilla,
No.
and Mrs. Torres Tigres.
No.
All right. And last but not least, Mr. Diaz.
Yes. And also, just a reminder, some of you are not on mute the whole time, so we can hear what you're saying over there. Just FYI.
Thank you, Mr. Diaz. We have concluded with the vote. The voting is 3 yeas and 2 nays, but noes coming from Mr. Padilla and Mr. Torres Tigres. Mr. Diaz will be the clerk of the Board of Trustees. And now we have the nomination for the LACSA representative for the El Monte Union High School District Board of Trustees.
Dr. Zuniga,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to nominate Estela Torres de Tigres for LACSA representative.
There's a nomination on the floor by Mr. Diaz for Estela Torres Tigres for the district's, the Board of Trustees LACSA representative.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Yes, of course. I really enjoy doing that. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Tigres. Mrs. Tigres accepts the nomination. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Salcedo. Thank you. We're going to call for the vote. Mr. Diaz,
Aye.
Mr. Salcedo,
Yes.
Mr. Padilla,
Aye.
Mr. Briones,
Aye.
and Mrs. Torres Tigres.
Yes.
Thank you. The count is 5-0. The motion is carried unanimously. Congratulations to Mrs. Torres Tigres, LACSA representative. And again, congratulations to all of you on the positions. We have concluded the nomination for the officers for the upcoming year. And I'm going to get back to the agenda here. At this time, we will proceed with the open session. Tentatively, yes, start at 5:30, but it's a little later. We will go ahead and, does the board need a few minutes of break, or can we proceed with the meeting at this point?
I'm okay proceeding. Anybody else have any questions or need a break? No? Okay, we're good.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll go ahead and hand it over to President, Mr. Florencio Briones, for the open session.
Thank you, Dr. Zuniga. Again, welcome everybody. It's now 6:13 p.m. and I'd like to call to order the regular session of the special meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Monte Union High School District. At this time, Dr. Zuniga, if you'll take a roll call vote, take roll call.
Thank you, sir. We will start off with Mrs. Estela Torres-Sigres. Mrs. Estela Torres-Sigres.
Present.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Carlos Salcedo.
Here.
Here.
And Mr. David Diaz.
Here.
And Mr. Florencio Briones.
Present.
Okay, all present.
Thank you, Dr. Zuniga. Mrs. Torres de Segrist, if you would be so kind to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, of course. Could you please stand up? If you can stand up and put your right hand over your shoulder, over your heart, and say, please repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Amen.
Thank you, Mrs. Torres de Segrist, for leading us in the pledge today. At this time, I'll accept a motion to approve the agenda.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Diaz, seconded by Mr. Salcedo. Any discussion? Seeing none, Dr. Zuniga, if you'll take a roll call vote.
Thank you. Mrs. Estela Torres-Sigres. We'll call for the vote. Mrs. Torres-Sigres.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Salcedo.
Aye.
Mr. Padilla.
Aye.
Mr. Diaz.
Aye.
Mr. Briones.
Aye.
Count 5-0.
Thank you. The agenda has been approved as submitted. Next up, we're moving on to public comments. I have not received any public comments on the public comment form. Dr. Zuniga, have you or staff received any public comments through other mediums?
Not at this time, sir.
Thank you. And then at this time, we'll move on to our next item, the consent agenda. Item number 1 is to consider approval of authorized signature resolution to sign notices of employment, contracts, and orders drawn on the funds of the Monte Union High School District as required by the Los Angeles County Office of Education. Is there a motion to approve this item?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Diaz and seconded by Mr. Salcedo. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Dr. Zuniga, take a roll call vote.
Thank you. Mrs. Torres-Sigres.
Aye.
Mr. Salcedo.
Aye.
Mr. Padilla.
Aye.
Mr. Diaz.
Aye.
Mr. Briones.
Aye.
Count 5-0.
Thank you. Motion is carried unanimously. Moving on to board communications and roundtable. At this time, we'll have an opportunity for board members to bring up topics or issues to be brought forward for future agenda items. I'll start off up top with Mr. Salcedo tonight.
Sure. Thank you, President Briones. I just want to take this opportunity really to thank all of our staff, our students, our parents for their engagement so far and for trusting in us really in guiding everybody during this pandemic. I really want to wish them a healthy and safe 2 weeks off, and just a strong reminder about all of our health guidelines and wearing a mask. We're at, hopefully this surge doesn't peak any further. I mean, today's numbers were pretty astonishing, really saddening. But just a reminder for everybody, wear the mask, wear a mask, something, a face covering, and just hunker down. If you don't need to go out, don't go out. And we will see everybody back in January. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salcedo. Mrs. Torres de Segrist.
I actually don't have anything right now. I didn't think about that, but thank you very much. I wish Merry Christmas to everybody, and as as Mr. Salcedo said, take care and use your mask, because it's really the social distance is very important, that we have to follow that. We have to do it. And in any moment, the vaccination is going to be worth it to use it. And if you need to have it, have faith and use it. Thank you, Mr. Salcedo.
Thank you, Mrs. Torres de Segrist. Mr. Padilla.
Yes, I have 4 items. Number 1 is congratulations on your presidency, as you're going to lead us again during these unprecedented times. And so, you know, I'm all about accountability and making sure that we follow through and that we're great examples. We are an educational institution, or an LEA, a local educational agency. And I know that in the past, I've talked to you about posting your bio on our district website. And I think if you're going to be our president again, I would like for you to post your bio so that we can see your degrees, your credentials, your certifications, because we know you're swab and running this meeting, but the rest of us do have our bios there. And same thing for Mrs. Estela Torres de Segrist. Make sure that we put your bio up so people can see your degrees, your credentials, and your certifications. And I say that because your 3 diamonds, Mrs. Torres de Segrist, were God, your husband and family, and then education. Please make sure that we get your bio up on our district website so that the public can see it. And in terms of Mr. Briones, I just want to tell you that I am going to remind you every single time until you put that bio up there so that we can read it and the public can read it. And when you do, I will be the first one to give you kudos. I think it's only fair that if you're going to lead us a second time, that you've had more than enough time to put your bio. So put your bio up. And if you don't, I will be here to remind you. Congratulations on the second presidency. But do post it. You post a lot on social media from what people tell me. I think you need to post it where you work, which is with El Monte Union High School District. So do your job and put it up there. You've had more than enough time. In terms of Mr. Salcido, congratulations on being our president. And you know what? I love that guiding question that you had. Is it good for kids? So we're going to ask ourselves what you're going to do with the Pasadena City College campus. I will hold you accountable to that and this board, and we will make sure that you don't close colleges down. If you're a member of the El Monte Promise, then you got to put your money where your mouth is, and let's keep that college open, because your platform was college and career, Mr. Salcido. And if you forget, I will be here to remind you. And if I don't remind you, I know Mrs. Estela Torres de Segrist will remind you as well. Number 3, thank you for the diamonds, Mrs. Estela Torres de Segrist. I will write those down as beautiful words of wisdom. God, husband and family, and education. Thank you for all that you do for education, and you continue to do with education. And again, I welcome you with open arms. I'm ecstatic that you're on this board, and all that you bring, all the years of experience, all of your education, all of your credentials, all of your degrees, all of your certification. You are so qualified, and I thank you for that, my dear friend. And lastly, to the entire staff, to the city of El Monte, to the El Monte Union High School District and our families, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Feliz Navidad y Prospero Año Nuevo. If you celebrate, if you don't, my respects to you and your religion. And I say that because I am Roman Catholic, and my family is Jehovah's Witness. And so it's very different. My parents do not celebrate, but I respect, and I'm happy as an immigrant to live in the best country in the world where I can participate in elected office. I get to speak my mind and not be suppressed or worried that a government is going to come kill me or do something to me. And I love being an American, and I'm happy that we have a new president-elect. Congratulations also to President-elect Joe Biden and to Kamala Harris. I am ecstatic. The 2020 year will be a year to remember for a number of things. So that is all for now. But again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. And thank you to our entire staff of working so hard during these unprecedented times in whatever role you do, as a superintendent, as an assistant sup, as a principal, as a director, as a teacher, most importantly. And for our students and our families, we are all in the trenches. I'm approaching in 2 years, my 30-year anniversary as an educator. And I love the fact that I'm a school board member. Not only do we create policy, or I create policy, but I'm also in the trenches, like Mr. Salcido, Mrs. Torres de Segres is a professor, like myself and my other colleagues who might not be in education, but they're essential workers. Mr. Briones, working with Ms. Hilda Solis and everything with our health and coronavirus and everything else that they do to make the community better. And to Mr. David Diaz for always reminding us about the food insecurities and the affordable housing and being healthy and all those things that he brings to the table as a young person. So thank you to everyone, and Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Thank you, Mr. Padilla. Mr. Diaz?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Briones. Congratulations. I think, to Mr. Padilla's comments, thank you for recognizing the work of each individual here. And as you know, I also work closely with Lillian Ray over at ERA, writing grants on her behalf and securing food distribution, addressing some of the food insecurity that's in our area. And so I'm fortunate to have that capacity and bandwidth to work with ERA to be able to do that. That being said, I think that as board members, we are elected, to represent and model some of the behavior that we want to see for our staff and El Monte High School District students. And so, the first time this happened, I felt bad for not speaking up. The second time it's happened now, I'm not going to be silent. And so, to me, bullying is any behavior, as you can find in a dictionary, that includes, verbal or physical or psychological, damaging someone's emotional, physical, or psychological well-being. And I think Mr. Padilla's comments about the bio and, Mr. Briones's experience in education doesn't serve us well, because I think that we all have taken an equitable platform or approach to our education philosophy to make sure that every student, regardless of age, income, immigration status, gender identity, has an opportunity to be successful and thrive. And what successful and thrive means to that individual could mean going to college. It could also mean going to trade school. It could also mean completing high school and going off into a very successful career that doesn't require additional certification. And so for me, I really don't like the spirit of Mr. Padilla's comments. To speak my truth to you, Mr. Padilla, they come off as bullying one of our colleagues. And so I just want to make sure, if that's your intention, to bully Mr. Briones, I don't think that's right. But if that's not your intention, then I just want to make sure that you're aware that that's how it's perceived. That you're bullying Mr. Briones because he didn't go to college, have degrees, certifications, whatever. And so I think as board members, it's, let's keep that out of this board meeting here. So with that, I just want to wish our staff and students and my colleagues, happy holidays, and really echo some of the sentiments that Mr. Salcedo mentioned, which is like CDC guidelines, being safe. I know we all miss our loved ones tremendously, but one of the best gifts we can do for our loved ones right now is to follow the guidelines that have been put forward, because none of us want to be the reason why we may get others sick, why others may suffer. And so it's important that we, as the best gift we can give folks this holiday season, is to follow those CDC guidelines. So with that, I wish everyone happy holidays and a happy new year.
Thank you, Mr. Diaz, for your remarks. I will go next, and then Dr. Zuniga, I'll give you the opportunity to provide any remarks before we adjourn the meeting. I do want to say thank you to our staff and our faculty and everyone who's participated in our events the last few weeks, and everyone who has worked very hard for our families and for our students over the last school year, really since the pandemic began. Today, the Department of Public Health announced that there were 22,000 new cases of COVID-19 in LA County alone. When we say there's a surge, we mean it. These numbers are not inflated. They're not miscalculations. They're real human beings who are sick. In connection with that, in this region of which LA County is a part of, which includes the counties of San Diego, Imperial, Orange, San Bernardino, Riverside, Santa Barbara, Ventura, and Kern counties, we're currently at about 1.7% of ICU capacity. That's not a whole lot of beds available for someone who's dying. So when we ask you to wear a mask, when we ask you to be physically distant from other individuals, when we ask you not to gather, with folks outside of your household, it's for not only your own safety, but it's for everyone's safety. There are close to 300,000 individuals in the United States alone who are no longer with us. Of those 300,000, I know 6 individuals personally who have died of COVID-19. And it's very disheartening knowing that individuals have died and seeing folks posting online out having, gathering with friends and family outside of their household, going out and not practicing physical distancing, not wearing face coverings. And really it speaks to the selfishness of a lot of individuals. So I really want to make that request of everybody who's watching us tonight, that you please think of others outside of yourself. Wear a mask, be physically distant from others. And I know it's extremely hard, but limit your contact to individuals within your own household. Christmas is coming up, and I know we just had Thanksgiving recently. And it was incredibly hard not being able to gather with my own family. So I know it's hard for everyone else. But these numbers are real, and they will have an impact on all of us. I know that there is a vaccine or different vaccines that are becoming available. But to put it into perspective, this week there were 250,000 doses made available in LA County. That's only 125,000 individuals who will receive that vaccine. That's 125,000 out of the 10 million that live in LA County. Of those 10 million in the first district that I represent, the Board of Supervisors, there's 2 million individuals here. That's less than 5% of the vaccine needed to inoculate people. And it's not enough, and it won't come soon enough. So the easiest way to prevent anyone from being further infected is to ensure that you're wearing a face covering and that you're practicing physical distancing and only gathering with individuals within your own household. With that being said, being such a sourpuss tonight, I do want to congratulate Mr. Oscar Castillo, one of our math teachers at South Amani High School, for being recognized as an educator. I forget what the exact recognition title is, but being recognized by the Amani Promise Foundation with the Bobby Salcido Esperanza Award this year. It's always an honor to gather with everyone. Unfortunately, we weren't able to this year to have our tamalada. That's usually a very big celebratory event in our district, in our community. If you have the opportunity, please go online to the Promise Foundation website and watch the program that they produced. It was beautiful. I want to give congratulations to the executive director, Jennifer Cobian, and to her husband, Roger Cobian, who was the MC. They put on a wonderful program. And I did have the opportunity to purchase some tamales to enjoy with my family. They were delicious. So thank you to all the restaurants that participated and all the volunteers who helped put together the event for those individuals who donated and who purchased some tamales. I also want to say that to Mr. Diaz's comments about Mr. Padilla's remarks, I didn't say anything earlier either, simply because I wanted to just let it go. But I will provide a short response tonight and echo what Mr. Diaz said. Just to some individuals, success means having a college degree, means having attained certain level of education, means being employed in a certain position. But we all have to remember that success means different things to different people. And in our community, considering that it is a working class, blue collar community, success means many different things to the individuals that we represent. And as I stated once before, simply because I don't have my biography listed on our district website doesn't mean anything to me. The community that elected me knows who I am, knows what I'm about, and they voted me into office. When the time comes, if they want to take a different direction, it's entirely up to them. But those individuals who support me and who've known me for many years know who I am, know what I'm capable of, and know that my heart is in the right place. And as Mr. Salcedo said, every decision that I make, the question that I ask myself is this good for our students? Lastly, I want to say thank you so much to my colleagues for recognizing me as your board president in this last year and for electing me for another year to be your board president. Serving as board president, it's an honor and a privilege. It's not a burden. And I understand that it's always a difficult position to be in as board president because there's so much that you have to do above and beyond being a trustee member. But in these very trying times, I want to say thank you for putting your confidence in me once again to lead this organization, to work with Dr. Zuniga, and really work alongside all of you to continue to move our district forward and to provide a quality world-class education, a dynamic education, an enriching education to all of the students that we serve and their families. So thank you again for the opportunity to serve. It's a pleasure being here. And again, I want to welcome back Mr. Salcedo and welcome Mrs. Torres de Sigris back to the board as well. With that, thank you so much. And Dr. Zuniga, if you have any items you'd like to bring up.
Thank you, Mr. Briones. I just wanted to provide the board with an update. Staff continues to research the home testing kits that was discussed last week at our meeting. We are working diligently to entertain various vendors. Mr. Briones did mention last week as well that the challenge will continue to be is the amount of pouring of other organizations that are seeking the same home testing kits for our students and our families, as well as testing for staff at their very opportunity. We have researched, including the local opportunities that we have received and we've seen, including the city of Rosemead's partnership with Everly Well as well, that we have looked into, and we are awaiting responses from those vendors, and we will continue to do so. As you know, that the CARES Act funding is something that we keep tabs on, and we're taking a look at our timeline, where we're at, and just letting the board know that we continue to do that every day. And we have been meeting the last 3 days for the actual updates provided by staff. And then I will also continue to provide you updates via my Friday memo, as well as an update at our next board meeting in January too, with the hope that we can continue to find a solution for this and provide another opportunity for our families and students. Hazel Health has also been receptive to an opportunity to not only test our students, but also provide others, family members, an additional family member, the same opportunity at this point. And we will continue to talk to see if there's any expansion that we could also provide to other family members, because right now they are open to having one. As you know, that the Hazel services students, but they are also open to supporting our needs as well at this point. And I appreciate district staff for doing their due diligence and continuing to research and explore ways. If the board has any leads or any recommendations, please contact me. We'll certainly look into every opportunity that we can have at this point as well. Last, I do want to again congratulate all of you, including our re-elected and elected board members, Mrs. Estelle Torres Segres and Mr. Salcedo. It's always been a pleasure working alongside of you. As you know, all of you mean a lot to this district, and I hope and I pray every day that we continue to work together over the next year to come out of this unfortunate time in our lives, in our educational careers, and also most importantly, the students that unfortunately have lost a lot of time, whether it's learning loss or opportunities for them to entertain themselves with co-curricular programs, including athletics, clubs, organizations. You know that the focal point of anyone's high school career is just what happens as part of the holistic part of the experience. And I really feel for our students at this point, knowing that we're going halfway point already through the school year without having our kids back on campus. And we'll continue to work on a return when it's safe to do so. So that way when the kids come and our teachers come and everyone returns back on campus, that we are prepared and El Monte Union High School District is ready to serve our students in that capacity. Again, I wish all of you a safe and restful holiday break, whatever you celebrate, you know, the various celebrations that we have, including Christmas, Feliz Navidad, as Mr. Padilla has stated, and I wish you a prosperous 2021. I am optimistic that we will have a good year coming forward, and we keep hope alive and continue to work together. So thank you again, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Dr. Zuniga. So without objection, it's 6:39. Please, well, stay safe, and we'll be together soon once again. Good night.
Good night, everyone.